It's turkey time with me, Katie Seeley. So our turkey has just come out of the oven. It took about 4 hours and 15 minutes at 325 degrees. So now I'm going to show you how to carve it up so it's easily presented. So the best way I like to do that is to cut the legs off first. Now if you cut in right here through the meat and the skin, it should just come right off. All these extra little bits of turkey I like to lay on the plate or save off to the side and use for leftovers later. And then we're going to tackle the breast. So there's a big bone that runs right down the middle, and so we're going to cut along either side. And then you kind of grab it and pull, and the whole breast will just kind of fall off. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side, right along the bone, and then pull. All right, so we've got 2 breasts and 2 legs. Then I like to go through and pick the carcass, which is kind of a gross word, but there's lots of good meat on here. So we want to make sure we get it all. And then the same thing for the wings. I like to take all these little bits that have fallen off and save them for my leftovers. My favorite thing to do is to make a pot pie with all of the turkey and green beans and sweet potatoes and all that good stuff. Mix it all up together, use a little gravy to hold it together, and put a big pie crust over the top, or some biscuit dough or anything like that, and bake it in the oven. That's my favorite way to eat leftovers the next day. So then we take the breast, one of each at a time. I usually remove the skin because it makes it a little easier to cut. And then we're just gonna make real tiny little slices going all the way down. And it kind of falls apart on its own, so we just wanna do our best to keep it together. Then I take my big long knife, turn my cutting board towards me a little bit. I always put a sheet pan underneath my cutting board to help catch any of the juice so it doesn't run all over the counter. Pick it up, and we move it to our serving tray. And then instead of having one big giant turkey leg, I usually take some of this meat off because it comes off in pretty big little pieces, and we just kind of lay them out. Now when our turkey comes out of the oven, we want to give it a little bit of time to rest before we cut into it. I'd say anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. You can just tent it with a little aluminum foil, and it helps the juices absorb back into the bird, particularly into the breast. And then I always save the skin because inevitably there's somebody in the family that really likes the crunchy bits. So I pick off the wings too because that's good meat, and a lot of times we get rid of it when we don't need to. But then you've got your breast and all of your leg meat in a big platter. Thanks for joining me for turkey time. I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you soon.